let's do a little experiment. If you've ever read the novel Dune by Frank Herbert, try to recall the first scene, the first line, or the first image you remember vividly. If you've watched the movie adaptations, you can try the same thing. I'll give you a few moments to think about it, and if you can, write down what you think of in the comments below. Ready? Well, here's the scene I think a lot of you, if you're anything like me, will have thought of. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me, and when it has gone past, I will turn the inner eye to its path. Where the fear has gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain. Paul felt her calmness return. Said, "Get on with it, old woman." "Old woman," the Reverend Mother snapped. "You've courage, and that can't be denied." "Well, we shall see, Sirrah." She bent close, lowered her voice almost to a whisper. "You will feel pain in this hand within the box. Pain. Withdraw your hand, and I'll touch your neck with my Gomja bar. The death so swift, it's like the fall of a headsman's axe. Withdraw your hand and the Gomja bar takes you. Understand? What's in the box? Pain." If it's been a while since you read Dune, it might surprise you that this scene doesn't appear on the first page, but actually half a chapter in. It's the first thing I remember, because of the conflict between Paul and the Reverend Mother, the intriguing concept of the pain box, and those iconic, almost poetic lines repeating the word fear over and over. Sometimes they come at the start of a clause, sometimes the end, and sometimes in the middle. This scene has everything a great opening should, so what did Frank Herbert put before it, and why? Well, to understand that, let's start by reading the actual first page of Dune. "A beginning is the time for taking the most delicate care that the balances are correct. This every sister of the Bene Gesserit knows. To begin your study of the life of Muad'Dib then, take care that you first place him in his time, born in the 57th year of the Padishah Emperor, Shaddam IV, and take the most special care that you locate Muad'Dib in his place, the planet Arrakis. Do not be deceived by the fact that he was born on Caladan and lived his first 15 years there. Arrakis, the planet known as Dune, is forever his place." From the Manual of Muad'Dib by the Princess Irulan. In the week before their departure to Arrakis, when all the final scurrying about had reached nearly unbearable frenzy, an old crone had come to visit the mother of the boy, Paul. It was a warm night at Castle Caladan, and the ancient pile of stone that had served the Atreides family as a home for 26 generations bore that cold sweat feeling it acquired before a change in the weather. The old woman was let in by a side door, down the vaulted passages by Paul's room, and she was allowed a moment to peer in at him where he lay in his bed. By the half-light of a suspense lamp, dimmed and hanging near the floor, the awakened boy could see a bulky, female shape at his door. The old woman was a witch shadow, hair like matted spiderwebs, hooded round darkness of features, eyes like glittering jewels. So that was the first page of Dune, and the first chapter then continues with Paul listening in on his mother's conversation while pretending to sleep, having a portentous dream about the planet Arrakis, a bit more world building as he thinks about the Harkonnens and the other elements of the Dune universe, and a conversation with his mother as he prepares to meet the Reverend Mother again and the pain box scene. This is all important setup for the story to come, all good stuff, but with one massive exception, most of it would make for a pretty dull opening, and reputation aside, I can't really imagine someone going into a bookshop, reading this opening and being keen to buy it. But as I've said, there is that one exception, that one element which Frank Herbert uses to create a truly great first page, that historical excerpt from the Manual of Muad'Dib by the Princess Irulan right at the start. It immediately sets up the scope of the Dune universe, the importance of the planet Arrakis, and the almost mythological tone of the book. It also poses a number of questions we want answers to, making us want to read on. Who is Irulan? Who is this 15-year-old who will become the Muad'Dib? What is so special about Arrakis? In short, this excerpt gives us, the reader, a wonderfully expansive view of the story to come, a sincere promise of the mysteries which will unfold, along with essential context so the subsequent pages up until that brilliant paintbox scene feel meaningful and weighty. In this sense, this excerpt does a similar job to the ring verse from The Lord of the Rings, which I covered in a previous video. It acts as a de facto prologue, but what's really wonderful is that similar excerpts from the Manual of Muad'Dib keep appearing throughout the book, constantly renewing the intrigue and reframing the story. I'm surprised more sci-fi and fantasy novels haven't adopted this kind of device, given the success of Dune. Ubik by Philip K. Dick springs to mind, and was published 4 years after Dune in 1969, so may well have been inspired by it. But can you think of any others? Pop them in the comments section if you can. With part 2 of the Dune movie adaptation coming in March, I'll be creating more Dune content in the coming months, so if that sounds good to you, hit like and subscribe. See you soon, and until next time, keep writing.